This card's going to be headed to the bottom. And we'll be underway here in round number 10 to start our day in just a bit. Keep in mind, later today, we will have a metagame breakdown for you for what did make day number 2. It looks as though X and 3 will be a record to make the elimination rounds here this afternoon from Dallas. And it looks like Lawson is going to start things off with a Windswept Heath. It'll be a Temple Guard, bringing him down to 17, and a Glade Cover Scout.
And that's the perfect start right there.
Yeah, you're looking for one of those 1-mana hexproof creatures, Slippery Boggle or Glade Cover Scout. And now it's time to let the auras rip.
So in Steven's spot, I'm always interested to know how much scouting people have done. Like, did he know what he was up against?
Can he do much about it if he does?
Well, you know, he did take a mulligan. I'm not sure how aggressive that is.
Okay.
Like, you know, was he looking at his opening hand? He's just like, this can't beat Boggles, especially since my opponent won the die roll.
Well, he's going to play an Experiment 1 to start things off. What if Foothill is going to search up a forest? He's down to 19. There's a Razor Verge Thicket, land number 2 here for Zandi. There's at least a Spirit Mantle over there.
And a couple ethereal armors, so that creature's going to get very big very quickly.
And there are 2 ethereal armors on the Glade Cover Scout. And this is going to be an attack, I believe, for 5. And ethereal armor is a mainstay in this deck, one of the cards that helped put this deck on the map. I remember when this deck kind of first came along. It really did kind of take Magic Online by storm for a couple of days there.
Yeah, Daybreak Coordinates were just sold out everywhere.
Yeah, they were impossible to find. I do remember that part of it.
Now, not so much. Modern Masters 2 certainly helped that out.
Yeah. But you had to, if you had some techie bots on Magic Online, if you know the bot world who has all the cards, which I know you do.
I do. I got a few in my back pocket.
I know you're a friend, good friend with Foilbot, I believe.
I am,
yeah.
For better or for worse.
Yeah. A Sacred Foundry here for Long. And now we're going to have a Tarmogoyf. And that is going to trigger Experiment 1, barely. I'll bring Experiment 1 into a 2-2. And Zandy's going to fall down to 15. If you're Long, you're crossing your fingers that there's no Spirit Link, no Daybreak Coronet, no way for Lifelink to happen, because if it does, this game is probably over.
Yeah, I mean, even then, the Tarmogoyf is likely going to remain pretty small. The Hexproof deck does not put many cards in his graveyard. And the Zoo deck, you know, maybe you can bolt your opponent, but it's not going to be a lot of trading going on here.
Well, a Rancor and a Spirit Link and no more.
Yeah, that's it.
No more. That is going to do it. Stephen Long says, I'm not even going to take this damage. I'm just going to concede the game instead. Lawson Zandi is currently up a game here over Stephen Long. Green-White Hexproof very quickly up a game over Zoo, which means we're going to take a look at the sideboards here. And we'll find that Long has a Sudden Shock, 2 Lightning Helix, 3 Core Firewalker, Shatterstorm, Sony Silence, 2 Ancient Grudge, a Kataki's War Wage, a Rending Volley, a Malira, Sylvic Outcast, a Plains, and I think the only card he's going to bring in, a Destructive Revelry.
Yeah, there's not a lot of help here. I mean, it's possible that you bring in something like Lightning Helix to try and win a race, but if your opponent's gaining 10 life a turn, it really doesn't matter all that much.
There are not a lot of options, and it's very clear that Long has not brought cards to the table to try to combat Green-White Hexproof. There are cards that you can do it with, you know, Back to Nature, stuff like that, if you really do want to beat this deck, but he doesn't have any of that stuff this weekend, it appears.
Yeah, he has a lot of affinity hate, though.
Yeah, doesn't want to lose to that one.
A lot of artifact destruction, not a lot of enchantment destruction.
For Zandi, we got a Dismember, 2 Gaddock Teagues, a Kataki War's Wage, 3 Leonine Sanctity, 2 Suppression Fields, 2 Stony Silence, 2 Seal of Primordium, 1 Rest in Peace, and 1 copy of Nature's Claim.
Yeah, and you're not going to see a lot of help on Lawson's side either, but I think that's just because he just naturally has a good matchup.
I think that Zoo is a matchup that he'd want to get paired against a bunch. You know, not to say that Zoo is a heavy influence in the metagame currently, but if players are playing Zoo like Stephen Long, he's pretty happy to be here.
Yeah, so something like Suppression Field could be good if you're on the play. Lawson does have 6 fetch lands of his own. So you certainly don't want to hinder yourself with your own Suppression Field, right? But maybe the Zoo deck, especially since he only has 18 lands, I mean, Lawson doesn't know that, but if you just shut off all of their mana production, basically, you know, you're probably going to win.
I would be fine with Suppression Field probably on the play. I don't love it on the draw. But I'm kind of with you where I don't even think he really needs to sideboard very much. I think his matchup is very positive, just assuming he gets a good draw. If his deck cooperates with him, I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he does have a Suppression Field main as well.
Okay. That's a little bit different. We don't see that all the time.
Yeah, normally it's like, you know, you play the 3 or 4 main deck, you don't have any fetch lands, you just have as many green-white duels, you generally see some brush lands in those decks.
One thing he has, though, well, of course he's going to have Daybreak Coronet, there are 4 of those, but he also has 2 Unflinching Courages and 1 Spirit Link, so he has a lot of lifelink auras in his deck.
Yeah.
Maybe more than you typically see.
I've seen upwards of 2 or 3 Unflinching Courage and a couple Spirit Links, so this is about the norm, I think.
Okay. Well, these players will shuffle up very quickly. Game number 2 will be underway. I think we're going to have time for our backup match. So in the meantime, we're going to talk SCG Game Night, the very popular promotion. Thanks to you guys at home for playing it and for stores for hosting it. November and December, those are the last 2 months of the year. So every week in November, and it is November 1st, you can get the Otter. And in December, it'll be the Reindeer. StarCityGames.com is where you can find out more information about this. You can also email in-store programs at starcitygames.com to get more information. And for our Canadian players and store owners, we have changed the shipping rates. They're to domestic rates now, so if you do want to get signed up for that, it's a little bit cheaper. And we do want to get you guys signed up for it because it is a very popular promotion in the States, and I think it'll be very popular there. StarCityGames.com/game night for more information about that very popular promotion. Get yourself some Otters and some Reindeers here to close out 2015 before we unveil pretty soon here what's coming for 2016. It's a dinosaur.
That's what you told me yesterday.
Yes.
I still don't believe
It's
you.
a dinosaur. It's a life-size dinosaur.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
that's what you win. The pins are life-size
More believable.
now. Yeah, the pins are life-size now. We've really made a big commitment to game night, so we have life-size pins now.
And yet the shipping price went down somehow. I don't understand that.
We're customer-friendly. It's about the players, Jerry. It's about the players. Stephen Long will be on the play here for game number 2. Quickly down a game. You know what? I can appreciate a hasty concession.
Yeah, there's no use wasting time.
What are we even doing here? You know what? I'm dead. You win. Let's play another game. Mr. Spirit Link Man?
Yeah, 11 lifelink.
Yeah.
Game.
The game's
I have
over.
2 power in play, 3 power in play.
Yeah, don't you sell Experiment 1 short. It was a 2-2 before things ended on turn 3.
Thanks to the Squire Goyf.
A fetch land to start. Both players going to keep 7. Here's a Kurt Ape.
Your good friend.
What? This is Patrick's good friend. I've cast Kurt Ape a couple times, but nothing too crazy. Glade Cover Scouts here. Very reminiscent of game number 1. I actually spent a long time beating Kurt Apes. Thank you very much. Stephen Long going to take a draw step. 1 drops of plenty in his deck. Atarka's Command the draw. Burning Tree Emissary in hand as well. We could have an explosive second turn.
Yeah, this looks like a pretty powerful start.
Windswept Heath. See what land Long wants to search up. You prefer new fetch lands or old fetch lands?
Well, I don't like the mixing. So the old Wooded Foothills, the new Windswept Heath,
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan. Not that it matters all that much.
No,
but,
not at all.
I don't know. I guess if I had all old ones, I would prefer to do that, but it's not really a big deal.
Yeah, I'm a big guy on the newest cards possible.
Okay.
So I always want the newest edition of everything. So I want the newest Meddling Mage.
Well, that's just messed up.
I don't care about Chris Pakula. I want the newest one every time. That's just who I am. The new Snapcaster Mage
Oh, yeah?
is sweet. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the nostalgia associated with the old art.
See, you're one of those people. Here's a Spider Umbra and Ethereal Armor. See if there will be attack or not. Don't know if Zandi has some interest in racing or not.
This does not seem like a race that he's going to win. So even if he had a lifelink enchantment in his hand, I could see him holding back for a turn, but he's just going to get in there.
Yeah, this will be attack from 1, 2, 3. Looks like 4. Long's going to fall down to 12. We'll see just how much damage Long can deal this turn. He did pick up a copy of Goblin Guide. If he's got a 3rd land, it could be a Goblin Guide and Antarctus Command type turn. It looks like it's just going to be Antarctus Command right now. I think we'll see a little +1/+1 across the board, along with deal 3 damage. So this will be a healthy attack here. And he'll pass the turn back. Zandy's at 4. Do you have Daybreak Coronet, Spirit Linker, and Flinching Courage? He does have Horizon Canopy.
He has a Path to Exile, too.
Yeah. Spirit Mantle in hand. There's an Armor. That's an 8-power creature, and he's just going to pass the turn back, looking to try to play a little bit of defense here. Another copy of Atarka's Command is the draw. Yeah, we're getting in there.
Yeah, I don't think Steven needed it because he had the Gorklan Rampager.
And here is the command. And thought about casting Path to Exile, did Lawson, but that's not going to save him. And Long is going to win game number 2. Like I said, I think we're going to have some time for the backup match. Yeah, let's get the backup match ready because these players are not wasting any time. Stephen Long going to tie it up. Zoo, green and white hexproof, getting ready for game number 3. It really is just a goldfish on both sides, right?
Kind of. I mean, there is some interplay. I mean, Lawson has the Path to Exiles, and Steven has the Tarkus command to maybe shut off lifelink for a turn. But aside from that, they're just trying to kill each other.
Yeah, and this will be Zandi's first game on the play here.
That is true.
So that is kind of notable. He's been on the draw each time. Had a good draw on the draw each time. That time lacking a lifelink aura. No Spirit Link, no Unflinching Courage, no Daybreak Coronet. So we'll see what things do look like on the play. Not sure much changes. You can already see Zandi's shuffling up here for game number 3.
Not a lot to change.
Yeah, I can't imagine either player is going to change too much on the play of the draw. Long's also shuffling it for game number 3. So we'll talk the Fall Creature Collection while we have a moment here before game number 3 is underway, and then we get to our second match of the morning. We got playmat sleeves and bundles of some of our game night favorites, the Hippo, the Otter, and the Reindeer, along with Penguillian Click. You can get these again in playmat sleeves and player bundles. StarCityGames.com/creature collection for more information. And stay tuned as Winter 2016 collection is coming around the corner a little bit sooner than you think because, well, 2015 is almost over.
It goes quickly. I don't know what happened.
Well, you know, people kind of warn you about this when they get when you're younger.
Yeah, that is true.
You know, your later years go so fast, and you're not thinking anything when you're just, playing Final Fantasy Tactics in your room. You just want to be left alone. Just let me play my video games, Mom. But yeah, now time just flies. Doesn't even feel like I got that extra hour of sleep yesterday.
I'm not convinced that I did either.
I was gifted an hour, and it doesn't even feel like it. I'm not tired. I'm well refreshed. But if an hour doesn't last very long.
Well, you're a man of ambition, you know? When it's time to go, you go.
That's true. It's very true. I think that's a compliment, so thank you.
Oh, it is.
Thank
it
you very
is.
much. Appreciate that.
You know, if you had 3 hours of sleep or 8 hours of sleep, you would be just as motivated. That's all I'm saying.
Depends on the day. But for the most part, I agree. We got green, white, hexproof. We got Zoo. What we don't have very much of, it looks like in day number 2, are Grixis decks. Nick Miller is doing a breakdown right now, but besides Danny Jessup, it doesn't appear Grixis performed all that well. We've just kind of seen a smattering of everything here.
Yeah, well, these two decks are not great matchups for Grixis.
Okay.
So to see these decks on top and all the Grixis decks littering like the 7-2, maybe 6-3, 5-4 brackets, not a real surprise.
Yeah, do you have I know you're a Grixis control guy. How's your matchup against green, white, hexproof? I can't imagine it's very good.
Well, MJ convinced me to add an engineered explosives to my sideboard, so I got that one. That's it.
So you have one good card against them now.
Yeah, that's even debatable because it's not very good against the totem armors.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Okay. Yeah, this deck, there are some people who are real big fans of this deck. I think of Dan Ward, someone who's been playing green hexproof for a very long time. It's not a deck that people really write about. It's not a deck that people really talk about. You remember Reed Duke at Worlds took some players by surprise with this strategy.
Well, Seth Manfield won Worlds with the deck as well. His teammates didn't fare as well as he did.
Sure. It's an underplayed deck. It's not really talked about very much either.
It's kind of straightforward.
Yeah. Go up before you I got a Kiefer walking with a match slip here. Looks like the youngest Kiefer, Quinn, picked up a W.
Love it.
Yeah, 7-3 now. Looks like we're gonna have some mulligan action here from each player.
Yeah, both players going to 6. This is definitely a matchup where the card quantity does not matter as much as the card quality.
Well, while these players, they shuffle up here, there was a little bit of an announcement at Grand Prix Indianapolis. Got a new set on the way.
Yep.
Hope you're excited. Shadows of Innistrad, April 2016, which will be here sooner than you think. But
I knew about this, actually.
Oh, a little inside information.
Well,
Interesting.
I knew that this was happening.
But probably don't know anything else.
I know nothing. I know no specifics whatsoever.
Jerry's time at R&D and Renton.
And this is about it. I'm pretty sure I know like nothing coming down the pipeline now, so it's going to be weird. I'm back to just being normal folk at this point.
Good. We're glad to have you back with us normal people. That when spoilers come out, super excited, refreshing every page.
I was going to say spoiler season was not the same when I had worked on the sets. It was just like I was looking for people's reactions to things and not necessarily like, like what kind of sweet stuff are we going to be able to do in this set?
Yeah, Innistrad is one of my favorite sets of all time.
I don't think you're alone on that.
So I'm a little surprised that we're returning this soon because Innistrad was only like 4 or 5 years ago, but I'm not unhappy. That's for sure. We got werewolves and maybe flashback again. Who knows what? So this could be really cool.
I imagine it will be cool. Just, the specifics could be anything.
Yeah, the flavor of Innistrad was fantastic.
Yeah, there's a lot to work with there.
I don't know if it's my favorite limited set of all time, but it's right up there. There's a lot you could do.
Have you done any flashback drafts? They have like Eerie Innistrad.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, they just have triple Innistrad drafts where I don't know why it's Eerie, but they give you a promo sign in blood.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Little Halloween theme?
Yeah. I did one.
Okay.
Forced blue-black mill.
Dumb.
Not self-mill, mill you.
You're a monster.
Well, it is Innistrad.
Where's your green-white travel prep, man? One way.
I did not see a single travel prep in the entire draft.
Or Invisible Stalker.
I got killed a game by Invisible Stalker.
Good. Yeah, you're going to learn a lesson there.
So the format is the same as it was.
Good.
A lot of Fear of the Bittens and Spectral Flights were involved.
See, Invisible Stalker going with the Halloween theme.
Yeah.
It's a ghost that's carrying a butcher's cleaver.
Makes a lot of sense.
Did you get cleavered out too?
No. No, just the auras.
Okay. Spectral Flight and Friends. Yeah, those were the times right there.
Not too unlike Lawson's deck here.
That's true. See, we come full circle.
Yeah.
I miss mostly, with Invisible Stalker, I miss the complaining associated with it.
Do you? Why?
I do. Because people just get so mad they lose to that card.
So I guess when Invisible Stalker was around, that was the thing that you could depend on week to week that people would complain about, right?
Yes.
And now, with no Invisible Stalker, you just have to find new things.
There's an aura of uncertainty of what people will be upset about.
Sure.
But I could guarantee that someone would be mad that they died to Invisible Stalker in constructed or limited, which is just a beautiful thing. I love the Stalker. I loved forcing the Stalker drafts.
See, you're the monster.
I am.
I was just trying to mill you out. The match I lost was to Witchbane Orb. So, could not beat that one. It's my own fault. I passed it like 6th pick. I should have just D'd it up.
Oh, so that's like 0.1 ticket.
It's probably not.
You left some value on the table. Big mistake. Scry to the bottom here for Steven on a mulligan to 5. A Temple Garden enters the battlefield tapped for Zandi, so no turn 1 hexproof creature like we've seen in the other 2 games. Never mind.
It's on top.
It looks like it'll be turn 2 for the Slippery Boggle.
So now it's kind of like Lawson is on the draw.
Yeah, we can say that. He's got 2 mana. He's got a core Spirit Dancer. That is something that can die to removal. Arid Mace to the draw for long. He'll play the Mace to sacrifice that, go down to 17 at least.
Do you like this? Just trying to get the Spirit Dancer up and running? Because he could have just played the Slippery Boggle and started going to town that way.
It's a little risky because of Lightning Bolt, but there are some Goblin Guides here. Hyena Umber's on top a couple times. But there's a high ceiling here if it doesn't die.
Right. The payoff is huge.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't have a lifelink enchantment currently, this will help him find one.
Yes. So I'm okay with this. There's a Rancor. Draw a card. Another Spider Umbra.
It's kind of tough, though, because you could invest into the Spirit Dancer and just get it hit with something like Path to Exile.
If he has Path in his deck still.
Yeah. And that would just kind of be a disaster. Maybe he doesn't, but he also didn't have a lot of stuff to bring in, so I don't know.
Here's another Rancor. Draw another card. Are we going, we're going beatdowns? He could die.
Yeah. Well, there's the command.
He is dead. Stephen Long is going to win this. He's going to win on turn 3.
Triple Goblin Guide.
And then a Tarkus command. Give everything +1/+1. That's 9, 10, 11, 12 from the 3 damage. And we said we'd have time for the backup match. We weren't kidding. Stephen Long is 10-0 here. Defeats Lawson Zandi 2-1. Zoo takes care of Green-White Hexproof. And we had essentially a turn 3 kill from Lawson in game 1.
Yeah, I was counting. I think it was about 10 total turns.
We did not play very many turns. There was more shuffling than playing there. But a win's a win, as they say, and Stephen Long has 10 of them here this weekend with his Zoo deck, still in first place and on top of the standings once round number 10 is complete. So congratulations to him, as we are going to get ready here for our second match, because that one, they didn't waste any time.